It's time for a positive alternative in Scottish politics. The SNP's mismanagement of our public services has gone unhindered by any impactful opposition. In fact, the greatest opposition to Nicola Sturgeon is coming from within the SNP and the former First Minister, which is a damning indictment of the opposition parties at Holyrood. To make this worse, as we've all suffered greatly at the hands of draconian curbs on our freedoms and rights, there has been a cozy consensus around the rules which have separated our families and driven many businesses to the wall. I know so many people out there have completely lost faith in the politicians and the parties Holyrood, who feel politically homeless because no one is standing up for them or listening to their concerns. It is time for real change and reform. It's time for a real alternative to Nicola Sturgeon's SNP and the tired parties of opposition at Holyrood. It is time to shake up Scottish politics, to wake up the politicians and give the people of Scotland a fresh voice. I am proud to say that as of Monday this week I'll lead that new alternative, Reform UK Scotland. For those of you who do not know me very well, I am Michelle Ballantine. I have been a member of the Scottish Parliament since 2017. I am no career politician. I have been a nurse and manager on the front line of our NHS. I have worked in our most valued public service. I have led charities that support some of the most vulnerable people in our community. I have set up and run my own business, all while raising a large family. I understand the challenges facing families across Scotland because I have lived through them too. Scottish politics needs leaders with principles honed in the fires of reality. Leaders who want to be respected for what they deliver rather than liked for what they say. Leaders who can inspire their followers and build a vision that can be delivered. I am leading Reform UK Scotland because I believe we can do so much better for our fellow countrymen. Scotland is an amazing place with amazing people, but we are being let down. This year, Scotland will go to the polls to decide who should run our hospitals, schools, policing, transport and many other vital public services. It will also be deciding on who is best placed to lead our economic recovery out of the pandemic. But beyond that, the election will also be about who you trust. The office of the First Minister is a powerful one, with great potential to transform communities and improve lives across Scotland, but Nicola Sturgeon has squandered this opportunity. I share the growing sense of frustration by the fact the SNP government continues to prioritise constitutional change over everything else. Particularly in the midst of a pandemic, the focus should be on fixing the struggling health service and cash-strapped councils, on the rising suicide rates, on the record drugs deaths, on education and child mental health. I am ambitious for Scotland. I want us to be world-class in everything we do. To do this, we need Reform UK Scotland to provide the real alternative to the SNP. Right now the most pressing issue is the SNP government's woeful response to coronavirus. Reform UK Scotland rejects the current direction of travel. Our children's education and opportunities are being devastated with the closure of schools. The new national lockdown will result in more life years lost than it hopes to save, as non-COVID patients with cancer, cardiac, lung and other illnesses have treatments delayed or cancelled again. Suicides are soaring. Businesses and jobs are being destroyed. If you are sick and tired of endless restrictions and devastating lockdowns, if you are sick and tired of being unable to be with your friends and family, if you are sick and tired of the constantly changing and regressive restrictions that affect your everyday life, then you have a home in Reform UK Scotland and we will be your champion. The elections in May are your opportunity to make your voice heard on the matters which matter most to you and your family. Reform UK Scotland do not accept the SNP's argument that the Scottish Parliament elections are a dress rehearsal for an independence referendum. We elect MSPs to deliver the devolved powers of Scotland to the best of their ability. I want to put the constitutional conversation to bed, and the best way to achieve this is to take SNP seats in May. As the new leader of Reform UK Scotland, I make this promise. We will not be afraid to say what we believe. We won't be cowed by the vicious attacks and personal insults. We will stand up for your freedoms and your rights. We will champion our public services and we will truly be stronger for Scotland.